right? Alfred, the forest just went quiet. Something's here.
You have visual confirmation.
Batman's contingency plan.
Gotham never stays quiet. When it does, it's because something has already started. 3 weeks without homicides, no bank robberies, no Joker, no Riddler, none of the usual spectacles. Alfred brought me a clipping from the Gazette teenage girl missing from a summer camp near Blair County, on the New Jersey border. Young face, smile frozen in a Polaroid. The 8th victim in 17 years. Geographic pattern, always the same lake, always from June to August, always around the new moon. Local cops filed it as drownings. Bodies never found. Witnesses talk of someone on the shore, figure in a mask, movement in the water. Reports dismissed as hysteria. But there's too much consistency. Consistency is data. Data is the entry point. I arrived discreetly, no armor, no cape. I went as Bruce Wayne, scouting the land for a charity project. Abandoned gas station 3 miles from the lake. Broken windows, rusted pump, stench of mildew and rotting wood. Back door forced open. Stains on the concrete rust? No. Preliminary analysis. Degraded hemoglobin, about 6 months old. Drag marks consistent with a 60-kilo body. Ends at the tree line, heading northeast. Toward the lake. Camp closed for 15 years. Fence down, bungalows crumbling. Wrong kind of silence. No birds, no insects. Heavy air, noticeable static electricity. At the center, the boathouse. Rotting wooden structure on pilings, half submerged. Loose planks. Inside, an improvised altar, not religious, personal. Faded photo of a woman holding a child, burned out candle, dead flowers, around it, totems, necklaces left by visitors, handwritten notes. Please don't hurt me. Sorry. I remember you. Fear as an offering. I scraped a wood sample, anomalous organic composition, unknown biofilm, lake water alkaline pH, traces of manganese, but something else. Irregular electromagnetic resonance, peak at 18 hertzes. Infrasound, frequency that induces panic. Natural? Unlikely at that intensity. Back in the Batcave, I cross-referenced the data. 17 cycles, always, after a territory violation, teens breaking in, underground party, nosy visitors, always followed by a disappearance. Surviving witnesses describe a persistent figure. White hockey mask, axe or long blade. Impossible underwater movement. Resists, wounds, doesn't speak, doesn't negotiate, just executes. Paranormal hypothesis dismissed by protocol, but the data forced a review. Jason Voorhees, name tied to the lake since 1957. Child with cranial deformity, neglected, drowned while counselors fucked. Body never recovered. The mother, Pamela Voorhees, carried out a massacre in 1958 ritual revenge, killed by decapitation. The son reappeared years later. The cycle repeats. Not a ghost, not a zombie in the classic sense. It's a bond. Territory is a closed circuit. Memory is fuel. Fear is reinforcement. Jason is the executor of a ritual without a ritualist. He is the ritual. The logic is simple. Fixed stage lake divided by boathouse. Emotional trigger. Maternal memory divided by territorial intrusion. Collective amplifier. Perpetuated local trauma. Each death feeds the legend. Each legend draws new intruders. Each intrusion reactivates the cycle. No need for candles or grimoires. Just repetition. Territory. Remembrance. Physical containment fails because the anchor remains. Chains snap, cells rot. He returns, always returns. So the protocol has 2 acts. First, break the supernatural anchor. Second, contain the body. In that order, never the reverse. I mounted the operation in 48 hours. Electromagnetic field mesh around the boathouse Faraday cage, disguised as an environmental repair structure. 12 underwater emitters, frequencies between 12 and 22 hertzes. Counterpoint infrasound, destructive interference in the lake's natural field. Inaudible, but enough to detune the call. Reflection removal. Spectral LED floodlights, positioned to kill shadows in the water. No reflection, no symbolic mirror. Metal surfaces covered with absorbent material. Directed silence, low, amplitude white noise generators, masking organic sounds that reinforce presence, breathing, movement, heartbeat, totem neutralization, remove necklaces, notes, flowers, no dramatic destruction, just removal, symbols lose power without an audience. The mother's photo was trickier. I digitized it, removed the original, replaced it with a degraded replica. Didn't erase the memory, just weakened the bond. Final component, acoustic inversion. Synthesized modulation based on the original 18 Hz and projected a mirrored frequency, not magic, psychoacoustics. Cancellation waves, engineering against enchantment. Trap set, I entered as Bruce. No cape, no mask, deliberate bait. He came at dusk. Emerged from the water without a sound, broad shoulders, cracked mask, machete rusted long as my forearm. Slow, inevitable movement. I struck first, punch to the solar plexus, forced to shatter ribs. He didn't even budge. Counterattack, lateral swing, blade slicing air, dodged by inches. Smell of muck and decay. Second hit, knee to the patella. Human femur can't take 300 kilos of pressure. He stumbled, didn't fall. Third, elbow to the base of the skull. Lethal technique. He turned his head, slow, like he was sizing me up. Then he clocked me. Impact to the sternum. I flew 3 meters, slammed into a tree. Cracked rib, partially collapsed lung. Blurred vision. He advanced. No rush. Execution. Not a fight. I rolled, triggered the flare. Tactical evac. I survived because he doesn't pursue beyond the territory. Not yet. Returned 72 hours later. As Batman, data confirmed. Containment without breaking the anchor is useless. Tested expanding polymer foam, the same that immobilizes Bane. Jason tore through it in 90 seconds, snapping the polymers like wet paper. The anchor was still active. The territory still called. So I activated the full protocol. Emitters at max. Faraday field operational. Totems removed. Reflections dead. I waited in the boathouse. Reinforced armor. Non-lethal arsenal prepped. This time, with the anchor weakened. He emerged again. Slower. Uncertain movement. Hesitation, the first ever recorded. The mesh was working. He was still solid. Still dangerous. But the bond was vibrating wrong. Off-key. Attacked with surgical precision. Directed explosives on the boathouse pilings. Calculated collapse. The structure crumbled onto him. Wood and metal. Used the chaos. Graphene harpoons. Tungsten cables. Anchors fixed to submerged rock. Not to kill him. To immobilize him long enough. He fought. Monstrous strength. Even weakened. Snapped 2 cables. But this time, I wasn't unarmed Bruce Wayne. I was Batman. Full armor. Tactical arsenal. And Jason doesn't fight like the others. His first strike. Impossible speed. Machete in a downward arc. Blocked with armored forearm impact, rang like an anvil. Counter. Hydraulic punch to the sternum. He staggered back. 1 step. Switched tactics. Lateral movement. 3 Muay Thai kicks to the knee. He stumbled. Fired steel cable around his neck. Electric winch pull. He yanked back, dragging me across the wood before I released. Tungsten net. Tore through it in seconds. Electro spurs 50,000 volts. Convulsed, but didn't stop. Blade whistled past my jugular, by inches. But the emitters held the interference. The supernatural link, what makes him invincible, fuels his monstrous strength. His impossible resilience was corrupting. Territory failing. Memory distorted. The anchor sustaining him bleeding out. He faltered. Critical moment. Activated silver. Veil. 4-meter containment sphere, triple wall. Inner layer of total sensory deprivation. No light. No sound. No vibration. Middle cryogenic cooling layer. Outer absolute Faraday shell. Submersible. Hermetic. Designed to completely isolate the occupant from any external stimulus. With the anchor broken, containment became effective. He went in. I sealed it. Sank the sphere to the lake's deepest point, 120 meters. Anaerobic muck. Total darkness. Not dead. Contained. Isolated. 3 days later, I extracted the sphere. Transported to a remote facility. Geological underwater pit in the North Atlantic. 3,000 meters deep. Constant temperature. 2 degrees Celsius. Extreme salinity. Triple Faraday cages. Total absence of reflections, no light, no sound, no echo. Safety redundancies. If the sphere fails, it sinks to the abyssal zone. If he escapes, Controlled detonation of the original site, boathouse, camp, territorial landmarks. No stage, no return. I cataloged the rules. Territorial anchor. Jason needs the lake. Without it, he weakens. Memorial trigger. The mother's memory activates him. Breaking totems dilutes the intensity. Collective reinforcement. Fear feeds the cycle. Silence breaks the narrative. Physical limitation. Even weakened, superhuman resilience. Containment requires total sensory deprivation. Persistence. Doesn't die, just hibernates. I didn't kill him. I won't cross that line, not even for this. But I didn't free him. I can't. Future lives depend on it. He's contained. Monitored. Isolated from everything that makes him tick. Not a prison. Ontological quarantine. Gotham went back to its usual noise. Alfred didn't ask about Blair County, just changed the dressing on my ribs and poured tea. The lake stays empty. No legend, no totems, no fear. For now. Some believe monsters can't be stopped, that the supernatural is beyond reason, that ancient forces always win. They're wrong. Doesn't matter if it's magic, ritual, or immortal cycle. Everything runs on rules. Everything has structure. Everything can be understood, dismantled, contained. I've dedicated my life to it, not just Gotham's criminals, but anything that threatens the innocent, human or not, alive or not. If it can kill, I can stop it. I'm not just a detective, not just a vigilante. I'm the preparation the impossible didn't see coming, the contingency for what shouldn't exist, the line between chaos and order, the line I never cross, but defend with everything I've got. Other heroes trust power. I trust method. Jason Voorhees was inevitable, until he wasn't. Because I'm the Batman, and the Batman always has a plan.